Here's a really fabulous song from Bacharach. There are only two main sections, but there's quite a lot to both of them, and there are some typical Bacharach elements, not least of all the fact that some of the bars in both sections don't contain quite the same number of beats as the others. Before we look at the sections, the way they're laid out, and the chord shapes though, let's look at a picking pattern that will stand you in really good stead. It comes close in terms of feel to the original, almost like a bossa pattern, and once you've got this under your fingers, you'll find it's very versatile for songs like this. Okay, so I'm going to use an example of an E minor 7 to begin with. That's the first chord of the song, by the way. You only need a second finger on the second fret of the 5th string. That's E minor 7. You could add a finger, I'm going to use my little finger, on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string as well. Now, in fact, in the pattern we're going to play just now, we're not going to be playing the 5th string, so you might wonder, well, why do you bother? I reckon it's more trouble than it's worth to kind of remember to leave it out. And anyway, you might decide to strum, or you might miss the string and play that one by mistake, or there's a whole bunch of reasons why it's probably easiest just to play the whole chord, even if the pattern itself doesn't feature all the strings that are fretted. Okay, so thumb, which is going to play the bottom note of the chord, that's the 6th string, and then the 3 picking fingers are going to just pick the top 3 strings like this. So first beat the thumb, second beat the fingers, third beat the thumb, fourth beat the fingers, and it's just going to alternate like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't sound like much yet, but don't worry, we're going to build this up. Now the next part is to add another bass note half a beat before the main one on 1 and 3. So it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, we're getting there. And the final thing to do is the chord that should be picked on the 4th beat. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4, that one, I'm actually going to bring it forward by half a beat, so it's going to be on 3 and that's going to make all the difference. And 1, 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and. Now those 3 picking fingers are going to stay on the top 3 strings, and of course the thumb is going to move to whatever the normal bass note should be. So the following chord, for instance, is an A minor 7. Then you're going to go to a D7, and of course the thumb is going to move to the 4th string. And so on. So you'll just need to have an idea of what the bottom note should be and where the thumb should go accordingly. Okay, well, let's look at the intro. The intro is exactly the same as the verse, and I'm just going to put the chords up on the screen now. We have a single bar of E minor 7 and then 2 bars of A minor 7. And for now, I'm going to stick to my picking pattern. Now it comes to our D7, and we're just going to play 2 beats of D7, and that's a whole bar. So it's a half bar, if you like, or it's a whole bar with only 2 beats in it, which means we're only going to play the first half of our picking pattern, and then we're on to a G major 7. That's just like a G7 with the first finger raised a single fret. Final 2 chords are a C major 7, like a C but with the first finger missing, and then B7 for a bar. So the whole of the intro. And again. Now, as I say, the intro and the verse are exactly the same, so I might as well, there's my singing note, let's add the lyrics. The moment I wake up, before I put on my makeup, I say a little prayer for you. While combing my hair now, I'm wondering what dress to wear now, say a little prayer for you. Okay, that's the intro and the whole of the verse. So what happens in the song is the intro plays and then we just get that verse one time, and now we're into the chorus. Now the chorus isn't tricky, but there's no getting away from the repeating line that goes 3 times round, contains 11 beats. Forever, forever, you'll stay in my heart and I will love you. Da 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 ba da da ba ba bo de de ba da. Okay, so the way I think of this is a bar of 4 beats, a bar of 3 beats, and another bar of 4 beats, as you'll see this on the screen now. The first 4-beat bar is really easy. That's just C and D7. I'm going to strum this. Forever, forever. And this is the trickier bit. We've got B minor 7, and then after 1.5 beats, we switch to E minor 7. So it's down, up. The rest of that bar is E minor 7, and that E minor 7 continues for the first 2 beats of the next 4-beat bar before we get to G7, or I'm going to play G13. So my second finger, which is in place on the 2nd fret, the 5th string for the E minor 7, that's going to form the basis then of my G13. So it's going to be slowly like this. And again. Then a bar of C. Only min heartbreak for, and then B7 for 2 bars. Me da 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 da. All that kind of stuff. Now just a little detail at the end. Those 2 bars of B7, in the 2nd bar you could put a little rundown, 4 beats to take you into the following verse, which begins on our E minor 7 again, and it works like this. A B in the bass on the 1st beat, then open 5th string for A, then 3rd fret on the 6th string for G, and then 2nd fret on the 6th string for an F sharp. So you'll get this. Only means heartbreak for me. And we're into the following verse. Okay, we're almost there. There's an outro section as well, and in fact in the Aretha Franklin version she plays the outro and then we kind of get to the end of the outro and we play the chorus again, and then she picks up the outro once more. So it's kind of, I don't know what that is, a fake outro. Anyway, we should look at it, and it begins just the same as the verse. We have this. My darling, believe me, for me there is no, and we're on to A minor 7 over D, which I'm simply playing like this. Top 4 strings, nothing but a single finger, I'm using my 1st finger, on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. My darling, believe me, for me there is no one but you. Okay, and we get into 2 bars of G major 7. Just at the end of the 2 bars of G major 7, it's D7 and back to G major 7, and that happens I think 5 times altogether. So let me attempt to sing the whole of the outro. If you want to get back into the chorus at this point, at the end of your 5 times through D7 to G major 7, just stick in a little G13, and that's going to take you back in. If I get that far, maybe I'll crack on and try and get back into the chorus. Wish me luck. My darling, believe me, for me there is no one please love me too. I'm in love with you. Answer my prayer, babe. Say you love me too. Answer my prayer, babe. Hey, forever, forever, you'll stay in my heart, and I will love you forever and ever. We never will part, and so on. Okay, what you would then do, I guess, is you get to the end of the chorus and then a final outro. How are you going to finish it? You're going to fade out like the recording, or probably just finish on a G major 7 like that. Okay, let's have the whole thing, by which I mean let's have the intro, a single verse, a chorus, and then I'll go straight to the outro, and then who knows? It's a mystery. I'll have to work out how I'm going to end this without fading out. Never mind. I wake up, before I put on my makeup, I say a little prayer for you. While combing my hair now, I'm wondering what dress to wear now. I say a little prayer for you. Forever, forever, you stay in my heart, and I will love you forever, forever. We never will part. Oh, how I love you together, together. That's how it must be to live without you. Would only mean heartbreak for me. My darling, believe me, for there is no one but you. I'm in love with you. Answer my prayer, babe. Answer my prayer, babe. And that is it.